Hello, and welcome to Secrets from Athletes, where we dive into what makes a top athlete and how you can apply their routines and mindsets to your own life. I'm your host, Andre Shaw. Today with me, I have FA, a volleyball player committed to Eastern Mennonite University. How are you doing today, FA?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, enjoying the summer, excited for college in a bit. So, how'd you get into volleyball?
I first got into volleyball when my friend told me that there was going to be a boys volleyball team from my school. So I joined it. I made the trials, and from there I just fell in love with the sport.
All right. Was there a specific part of a sport that you really loved, or was it kind of the whole package?
I just love that the teammates and just the passion that came with the sport. That's what got me into it.
All right. And was there a specific moment you're like, I want to continue doing this in college?
At first, I didn't think I would do it in college, but then as I kept playing, I just enjoyed it more and more.
All right. Honestly, I feel like that's one of the most important parts with a sport. It's like if you enjoy it, that's when you know you want to continue it. So a lot of the time we have someone who gives us advice, and typically sometimes there's bad advice, sometimes there's really good advice. What's the best piece of advice you've gotten from somebody?
The best piece of advice I got from somebody was to not give up when things get rough. Like when we're down by a lot, to keep going and keep pushing because if we have a couple of good rallies back to back, we can just come back real quick. And so, being consistent and just not giving up is probably the best advice I got.
Yeah, honestly, I think that also applies to just outside of life. It's or outside of sports, sorry. It's like you can never giving up. You never know what's going to happen. So, a side note, what position do you play in volleyball?
Oh, I play right side.
Okay, so how do positions work? I don't know that much about volleyball.
So there's three players in the front and then three players in the back. And the three players in the back usually play defense. The three up front are usually the tallest players on the team. And so right sides are usually left-handed because it's easier for them to hit from that position. So that's why I play right side because I'm left-handed.
Okay, cool, cool. So I know, like you were saying with the sports and never giving up. Sometimes you can be down a lot of points, but then you rally back. What's the biggest challenge you faced in volleyball, and how did you overcome it?
The biggest challenge I faced was probably when I first started the sport. I was very shy and I wasn't able to speak up. And because I wasn't able to speak up, when I was on the court, I wasn't able to communicate with my teammates well enough. So because of that, I just wouldn't get the ball a lot. I wouldn't have a very good connection with my teammates because I wasn't able to talk to them. I was very shy.
Mhm. So how'd you overcome that shyness and like kind of improve the communication?
I heard people saying that I need to speak up more and that I just realized over time that if I speak and make a better connection with them, eventually we'll have better chemistries together.
Mm. Completely agree. I feel like a lot of people in a bunch of those situations are like, "Oh, I'm worried what I'm going to say. What if I mess up?" All those things. So, as someone who's gone through it, do you have like a message or some tip for someone else who might be going through the same thing?
The best tip I would give for that is to just, you know, do your best and try to be the best version of yourself when you're out there, when you're given the chance to show everybody that you're worthy of, being on the court or whatever sport you're playing, you know.
All right. Thank you. So, I know this personally from rowing that sometimes there are times with sports you just don't feel motivated. What's your best tip for staying motivated when things do get tough?
The best motivation is to probably think about how bad you want it, and that itself should push you very far. And just thinking about that over and over again, that shouldn't be able to make you give up.
So, going back to like your original goal, your kind of your why with a sport.
Yeah.
If you don't mind sharing, what was like your why with volleyball?
To me, it was I played a bunch of sports before volleyball, and none of them really worked out for me. And I always wanted to play a sport and go far in it. And for me, it was like this is really my last option because by the time I started playing volleyball, I was a junior. I really didn't have many options at that point. So I just kept thinking back to myself, like, I need to make it far, or I don't have anything else.
Hmm. So kind of the like scarcity or the idea that this is kind of your last chance.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we were talking about motivation within the sport, have you seen this like motivation tactic work outside of a sport for you?
I believe so because you know, staying motivated, it's not only applying to sports. I feel like it applies in real life too. It makes you become more consistent and more disciplined in a way. I started becoming more I don't procrastinate things as much as I used to anymore because I feel like I'm more disciplined.
Mm. And like, how did you build that discipline? Because I know procrastination is a big thing for a lot of people.
So with time, as I started to understand that like pushing things away is not going to make it any better, so I might as well start working on it, and you know that just makes you get better. And with over time, that procrastination just goes away naturally.
Mhm. I think I completely agree. It actually reminds me of this one quote, which is the quote was, "The water doesn't get any warmer the longer you wait to jump." So it's that same exact idea you're saying. The work doesn't get any easier the longer you wait. So I know from volleyball, you've probably learned a lot of skills related to volleyball. What's the best skill you've learned kind of in general?
The best skill I probably learned is to always be humble and to learn from players that are better than you because that just makes you a lot better and improve actually quicker because having arrogance and ego that doesn't help you get better. Sitting down and understanding how those players got better than you will make you better.
Mhm.
It's easier to hear out people and see how you can get better than to just say, "Oh, I'm better than you."
All right. Yeah, I completely agree. Like your environment and being around people who are better than you has such an important role on your own growth. With the humble part, I want to play devil's advocate here a little bit. Sometimes I feel if you're too humble, you kind of minimize yourself sometimes. So how do you like stay humble yet kind of have some of that mindset like I'm the best, I can get this, like to stay aggressive in the game?
I feel like you had to find that balance in both, which takes a long time to adjust to, because I feel like a lot of people get lost in between too humble and too arrogant. But at the same time, you have to have enough ego to go out there and have enough confidence to say, oh yeah, like I can do this. I believe in myself. I think that I'm better than the other team. I feel like that takes a lot of time to get used to, and it's not something that a lot of people can um master in a quick, you know, amount of time.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's something I'm working on myself is with like sports, I can be a bit more on the humble side, but it's like you're saying that I'm the self-belief that I'm better part is also very important to actually achieve in those sports. So, like we were just talking about how to surround yourself with people who are better than you at the sport, surround yourself with great athletes so you can become great. What do you think separates those good athletes from those truly great ones?
I think that staying consistent and disciplined, I feel like that's the most important thing. Um, because I feel like greatness doesn't come, you know, in a couple days. It happens over time, and consistency, always showing up, being humble, all those things that I talked about, I feel like um make someone great, and just hard work. I feel like nothing can replace hard work. Just believing yourself and putting in the hard work. That's the most important thing you can do.
Mhm. And that ties back to your point earlier when it's like tough, you're unmotivated, remembering that why that helps you to push through the hard work, get that discipline and that consistency. So since we're on the topic of self-belief, how I'm maybe you your whole life have been very like self-believing. How did you build that up more for yourself? How did you kind of solidify your self-belief?
So I used to think before the sports that I played before volleyball, you know, I used to be very arrogant. I thought I was better than everybody else, which put me in a very dark place because I wasn't able to learn from people that were better than me because I wasn't humble at all. And that put me in a really bad place because I was doing really bad. And on top of that, I couldn't learn from anybody. So that turned a lot of people against me because I was so arrogant and I thought I was better than everybody else. So that taught me a very big lesson to um, find the balance in between both. Still, you
Hmm.
have to believe in yourself, but also you have to be humble and hear out from other people. And sometimes when people criticize you, it's not always to put you down, it's to teach you a lesson. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I think that's a very important thing is like a lot of the times we take criticism way too personally. It's like it's not it's not a personal attack against us. It's in many cases, there are some cases where it is an attack, but in many cases it's just to like help us so we can learn and move forward. So, I know personally from Rowan, I have a lot of funny stories or superstitions. What is one of your funniest superstitions or stories from volleyball?
I'd say the funniest story I have is this happened a couple times actually. When I go up to block and I'm landing, sometimes I land on somebody's foot and my foot like it goes to the side or it rolls. And because I'm double jointed, every time it rolls, um, it doesn't hurt, but every time it happens, I just roll on the floor thinking it's hurting, but it just never happens. And my coaches always get, well, scared thinking I broke my ankle or something.
Giving your coach a heart attack every game.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about games, this is kind of just I just came up with this question right now. How do you lock in for a game? Like I know different athletes have their own routines. What is yours, if you don't mind sharing?
I feel like locking in, it's not, because volleyball is a team sport, I feel like it's not always you locking in. It's about your whole team locking in. You have to connect with them and all lock in together as a team because volleyball is a team sport and you have to make sure y'all have the chemistry enough to all be on the same page. And, you gotta talk to them about it before in the warm-ups. Watch out for this, watch out for that. Y'all gotta be on the same page. So when the time comes, y'all know exactly what y'all are doing.
Hmm. I know like getting on the same page is very important, but what happens if like mid game one of you gets like for this metaphor off the same page? How do you bring everyone back together, get back into the
That
game?
actually happens a lot. So the way to come up against that is to let them know like it's not just you doing bad. Because it's a team sport. It's all of us doing bad. So clearly we need to change something that's going wrong as a team, not just you. So keep your head up and just focus on the next point. That's the most important thing.
All right. So now, before I have one last question, I'll ask it at the end. But now I have a blitz question. So these are just very short, quick. You can do like one answer, one word answers. So like, what's your favorite day of the week?
I like Fridays
Fridays? Any specific reason?
because usually when I was going to school, that was just the last day of school.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite movie?
My favorite movie, I'd probably say Spider-Man.
Spider-Man? Any specific one or?
I like the Miles Morales one,
Yeah, those are
yeah.
good. Those are really good. Favorite season of the year?
I used to like winter because of the snow, but I don't like it anymore. It's too cold. So summer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the ones we had recently with all the, what's it called? The ice snow, those
Yeah,
sucked.
that's crazy.
So, what sport would you do other than volleyball if you could be like the top at any other sport?
I'd probably say soccer. I used to play
Soccer.
soccer.
All
And
right. Who are you rooting for in the World Cup?
I was rooting for Turkey, but they got eliminated, so now
Yeah.
France. They're
France. All
really
right.
good.
Yeah, no, they destroyed Sweden yesterday.
Yeah.
What's your favorite moment all time from a volleyball game?
I would say last year when I first started playing, when we won our first regionals games, that was probably my favorite moment.
All right, nice. So, what are your future plans for the sport and just in general?
For volleyball, I want to eventually play professionally. I'm fully committed to playing volleyball, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get to that point.
All right. So, how does like a professional league for volleyball work?
Because it's not very popular here, it's usually more competitive and more popular in European countries or some Asian countries.
All right. So, I know you're going to Eastern Mennonite University. What are you going to study?
I'm going to be studying marketing.
All right. And where is the university?
It's in Harrisonburg.
Harrisonburg. Okay, cool. Nice. And I mean, before we started recording, I remember you mentioned nationals. So,
Yeah.
if you want to tell the listeners about nationals a bit.
Nationals, me and my team, we prepared a week before. We wanted to make sure that we were fully ready to play, so we didn't practice this week. Me, I'm trying to make sure my body's 100% because it's a 3-day tournament, so it gets tiring.
Over those 3 days, like how many games do you normally play?
Um, for nationals, I think the first day might be 4 games or something in a
Ooh,
row,
that's
and the
that's
next
insane.
days are like 3-3.
Okay,
So it's a lot on your
nice.
body.
Yeah, that's recovery is such a big part.
Yeah.
All right. Well, best of luck at nationals. Will want to know how you do, man.
All right. Thank you.
And thank you for being on the podcast.
Of course. Thank you.
And thank you all for tuning into Secrets from Athletes. Make sure to follow on Instagram at secrets_from_athletes so you don't miss when a new episode is coming out. We'll be back with more secrets from athletes to help you refine your mindset and routines in the next episode. And like always, episodes are on Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Apple Music.